So today I just wanted to talk about the Salesforce Power of Us Hub. If you are not familiar, it is a free way for nonprofits to get tons of advice on how to use Salesforce. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it today is because I recently attended my local Salesforce nonprofit user group in San Francisco, and I was shocked that there were a number of nonprofits there that were not currently really actively engaged in the Nonprofit Power of Us Hub. So I want to take you on a quick tour and give you some tips and tricks to get the most out of using it. And I was just really surprised because it's so easy to get involved and it's a really great way to get all your questions answered. And if you're not with a nonprofit and you're not a Salesforce.org customer, you can use the hashtag AskForce on Twitter. And there's also a for-profit version of the community, which is under collaboration on when you log into Salesforce in the upper right-hand corner. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Power of Us Hub. Okay, so here we are. I've just logged in. Again, the URL is powerofus.salesforcefoundation.org. Please note that the Salesforce Foundation has recently changed their name to salesforce.org, so don't be confused. And one of the great things about the Power of Us Hub is that it's a single sign-on. So as long as you're signed in to Salesforce in the same browser, you do not need to create a separate login and password for the Power of Us Hub, which I think is so awesome. So you can get started really easily. When you join for the first time, you will need to answer a few questions about what your interests are and set up your profile and so forth. And I would really encourage you when you join to add your profile picture. And you can do that. You can see mine here in the upper right-hand corner. That's me. And you can always go to my profile. And it just makes it a much more personal experience if you add your photo. And all you have to do, as you can see here, is just click on your photo and update it. And if you don't have anything there, it will just be a little generic blue smile. And nobody really wants to see that. And then I would encourage you to go in here and update your contact information and ways people can get in touch with you. And then I would also encourage you to put in your About Me so that people can learn more about you. And then, of course, I would encourage you to go in and follow me, just like you do on Twitter or Periscope or any of your other social media channels. You can look for people and you can follow them. So, again, back to the home page. And I know, Shauna, you're going to update your profile in the community as we've already talked about. So there's also this great new feature that I wanted to highlight called Nuggets of Knowledge. So not only can you access, oops, I don't know why it took me there. That's so funny. Okay, so let's try it again. Nuggets of Knowledge. That is very interesting. Okay, well, let's see how I can actually access the page. Let's see, Nuggets of Knowledge, and then there was a really great, it's so funny, I clicked on this just a minute ago and there was a link to a really great page with all the nuggets of knowledge. I did it right before this, so I might just have to let Anne know. And one of the great things is that you can ask questions anywhere in the hub. So what I could do is I could go to the home page and I could just ask. As you can see here, there's this large question. I don't have my keyboard in front of me, but what I would say is, how do I access the nuggets of knowledge? And then people will come in and they will answer you. And again, I just want to stress that this is really easy, a really easy way to get free advice. So as you can see here, people are actively posting questions and these get answered really quickly. So you'll see within an hour, there's 2 replies here. And so what happens is, as you join, hey Zakia, as you join all of these different groups, when you first join, I'm so glad you're here, you will have a chatter feed. And I just want to point out, because this was confusing to users as well, is that this is different from your organization chatter feed. This is a chatter feed that's accessible to the over 20,000 users of the Power of Us Hub, which is other people from nonprofits and foundations, again, salesforce.org customers, and people like myself who help nonprofits to use Salesforce better. And so you can see here that I'm a member of different groups, such as Nonprofit Salesforce developers, and someone posted a question that was also on the homepage. Yeah, no problem. We are talking about the Power of Us Hub, which is a free Salesforce tool. And they gave out these coasters a few years ago. The URL for it is powerofus.salesforcefoundation.org. You do need to be a nonprofit or higher ed Salesforce user or customer, and you can get access via salesforce.org. But then once you do, they have all these great resources, and this is built out on the Salesforce platform. So Zakiya, you may be interested to know that they have something called Salesforce Communities that allows people to interact. And what I like about this is that you can really tailor your experience. Oh, great. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Then you will love this, because Salesforce gives 10 free licenses to every 501c3. And so I think you will really, really love this. And it's part of the reason why I love working with the platform so much. And they have this really great setup called the Nonprofit Starter Pack, which helps you get volunteers, helps you manage your volunteers and donors and stuff like that. And so what you can do is you can just join this specific group within the Power of Us Hub, and then you can ask your questions. You will see these useful links. You'll have this getting started workbook link here and all these things. And again, you'll see this question is the same as it was on the homepage, but then it also got referred to this specific group. So again, people will have these @ mentions here, and it will go to different groups. There will be a description. And I know this is probably all a little overwhelming right now, but the main takeaway for today is that there are a lot of people like myself who really want to help you. And a lot of these people I know in person. So for example, Verid is a really amazing administrator who has often spoken at Dreamforce, our annual conference, and she just really wants to help people. And so you'll see that this person posted their question today at 2:25 p.m. and she replied an hour later. And you can see that even there were like 4 people before this. So she even replied and said, you know, here's a link to something helpful. So again, the main point is that people really, really want to help you. And there are all sorts of groups in here and ways to get your questions answered. So you can also bookmark posts. So I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to bookmark this post. This is a feature I teach people about and I do all the time. So you can see the little flag there. Oh, thank you for sharing. And then I can just come back to my list of bookmarked posts. And then this is a list of really handy things that I just want to easily come back to later. And so you can see here that I have a partner call coming up this week. You can see here that there's an interesting PayPal integration, which looks really great, and there's some great documentation there. And of course, a lot of nonprofits work with PayPal for donations and stuff, and so I didn't need that at the moment, but I knew I wanted to come back to it. And then here's a question about, oh yeah, someone shared the way they, okay, so she says, this is Deborah from the Cutaneous Lymphoma Foundation, and she said, we're a cloud-based organization, and I was recently asked to share with our board of directors the tools we use to give them a better understanding of how we work. And so she just shared this freely with the community and said, hey, this is how I explained, you know, our technology setup. Maybe this is something that you would want to use. And like, I was like, I definitely want to see how you explain this to key executives in your organization. And I definitely feel like I can benefit from this. And so again, it's just a really great resource. I would encourage you to take advantage. Of course, I'm on the board of Girlforce, which is where she had just posted that. And so I would strongly encourage you to check that out. And the reason why I would encourage you, sorry, I'm like clicking all over. The reason why I would encourage you particularly to check out Girlforce, which is for women and transgender people who do nonprofit Salesforce work, is that we offer free study certification groups. Hey, Ashley, welcome. So good to see you. So what I was saying there is if you want to really take the next step in your career, which I think is awesome. Hey, and you want to learn more about Salesforce, you can. I'm just looking for a Girlforce post here so I can take you into that group because it's a private group. So let's see. There we go. Okay, so Girlforce again is a group for women and transgender people doing things around Salesforce and nonprofits, and we look to empower women in the nonprofit Salesforce community to be fearless leaders in technology. This group is for women in the nonprofit technology sector who spend their days with their head in the cloud. And again, we offer free training courses for people who want to become Salesforce certified. Which again can be a huge help. We offer each other job resources, as you can see here, and we answer each other's questions without making each other feel silly. And I just really recommend this. So feel free to check it out. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but again, I just want to make sure that everyone is comfortable accessing this free resource. And one other thing that I would, One other thing that I would point out here is that I would encourage you to go in and edit your, there's the best practice nuggets. I found it, you guys. Okay, so this is now a really easy way to, and it has really cute cartoons to help you. I love this little guy writing the page. I think it's so adorable. To really improve your use of Salesforce with just, a few clicks. So as you can see here, like these, there are just easy ways to improve what you're doing. They're really easy to follow. They're not that long. So as you can see here, it's just a few lines, and it will really boost your career. It will boost what you're doing in Salesforce. It will help your organization. It will help your users. And so I would just really encourage you to check that out. And now, of course, I'm totally forgetting how you can update your profile and your preferences, as I often do. But I would recommend that you go in somewhere and you update your preferences so that you don't get overwhelmed by emails. If someone remembers how to do that, you can mention me on Twitter or somewhere else, but there's somewhere in here where you can go in and you can edit your details, and I apologize, I'm not seeing it right now. Let's just try that. Contact or about, okay, so that's not it. So anyways, I apologize, I don't know that right now. But again, it's a highly useful tool, tons of free advice. Go in, ask a question, try it out, stay involved, update your photos so you're not a little blue smiley face, because we like to know who you are, and you'll get a ton of free support. So it's a fun community. Come on in, the water's fine, and I look forward to seeing you in the Power of Us Hub. Thanks, everybody. I will see you next time. Bye.